Alright, hello. Hold on. Hold on. Alright. What's up? I'm sitting back, like really back. Here's my chair which I sit on every single day. Alright. I will sit there, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I will sit there. I'm just eating some food. I've been busy because of the animation project that I'm like working on, and it kind of like demanded me to learn a lot of new things which I was not good in. So that is why I have been kind of like, so it's kind of like taking my energy and like time out of me, so I could not stream at that time. I still need to get started with illustrations because that was my goal in April, but in April the art block hit me like a freaking truck. So I thought that I should kind of like rest in April and begin that shit in May. But yes, but I'm kind of like starting the streams in May now, and I will probably begin the illustration stuff in like, I don't know, at like after like May 10 or something, or like around like May 10 or something, in like 1 or 2 days, whenever I get time, to be honest. So yeah, so today we are gonna do some textures and props, because that is of course part of my animation project, but we are not gonna do the same things that we are gonna that I need to do in the animation. I'm just gonna take some references from Pinterest and paint some textures, paint some props, draw some props and paint textures on it. That's it. And probably do a simple background, I don't know. Okay, we'll see about that. So yeah, this is all part of the illustrations, because all of this shit needs in the illustration process, so that's why. Also, as I said before, I still need to work on rebranding my gaming channel, reviving my gaming channel. So but I will do that soon, don't worry about it. I need to get in the flow of my schedule. Alright, so yeah. Whenever you learn new things, it demands kind of like the time, but once you kind of like get it, it's like, I don't know, second nature. Also, my hair is like grown a lot. My hairstyle is like a girl today. It's fine. Sometimes you gotta have that hairstyle. Yeah, I don't know, if kind of like people do not join in, then it's gonna be like a very silent stream. I'm not gonna talk too much. If people join in and like start chatting, then I will definitely talk a lot. We'll see about that. I need to get back into streaming, so I'm actually planning like half an hour to an hour streams until I have a little bit of time, I guess, but we will see about that. So no 4-hour, 5-hour streams, bros. At least at least till I'm kind of like, you know, a little bit free. Yeah. All right. I'm done eating. I will now draw. Hold on. Let me go and wash my hands first. Also, it's like very hot where I'm like staying here. My entire body is like, I'm like completely drenched in sweat right now. So that's why I'm like sitting underneath the fan. Hold on. I'll be right back. I am back. All right, let's do this shit. Oh my god. Okay, let me oh shit, sorry. Open up some references. Hold on, give me a minute. Alright, give me a minute. Alright, there we go. Goddamn. Bleed till that. Holy shit, what the frick? Why is your name like that? Hi bros, what's up? You have 405 subs? God damn, man. Crazy guy. It was in my corny phase. I was in my corny phase back then. Oh, when you kind of like renamed it. Sorry, I forgot to put on the mic on my shirt. Okay, this may be a kind of like a boring stream for like I don't know, most people, because we are not drawing any characters today. I will soon start drawing characters whenever I'm like streaming for a lot of time. Alright, so yeah. Okay, let's start drawing some props and shit. Now over here you will learn how to kind of like manipulate shapes and stuff, because I am not gonna draw the props like they are, to be honest. In the reference, I will be manipulating them a lot. Hold on, we are not on the texture phase yet. I'm just gonna first and foremost draw some, I don't know, do some flat kind of like stuff, flat tones and stuff. Then we will move on to the texture phase. Yeah, there we go. But I'm looking sick. Maybe I will extend this one. Yeah, you need to manipulate shapes and stuff while like drawing props. All right. Make them funky and interesting, I guess. There we go. Goddamn. My Google notification says severe heat starts tomorrow. Jesus Christ, will feel like 42 degrees Celsius tomorrow. Sunny. Goddamn. Holy shit. I saw a lot of people recommend to practice this dissecting shapes. What's the purpose of this exercise? Oh yeah. It's the purpose is that you need to make boring shapes interesting. All right, you need to learn to make boring shapes interesting. So if I were to make this even more interesting, then I would kind of like draw that first. All right, I would go by kind of like drawing that first, which I should have done over here. I'm stupid. So you need to learn to make boring shapes interesting, otherwise it won't look interesting. That is the main kind of like takeaway of that. All right, so yeah, this is kind of like very straight like this. All right, this lid is like kind of like straight like this, but you can make it interesting by kind of like warping it up. All right, so yeah, then these handles over here, you can make them interesting. By kind of like doing something like this. Yeah, there we go. Warping the shapes up, it kind of like makes it interesting. I can of course go ahead and warp the base as well. Or you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. I'm gonna squish the base. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. Right. Make it a little kind of like a shorty. Yeah, there we go. We will color this instead of like doing this. This is like whatever. Oh shit. Yeah, you need to learn to make shapes interesting. Otherwise, it will look boring. All right, it will look boring if you do not do that. It is going to look boring. Hold on, let me kind of like draw all of the props. Okay, one by one, and then we will kind of like color them. All right. This is just a kind of like a very initial sketch, nothing too crazy. Actually, drawing these kind of like makes it a bit easier. Hold on, a prime example of like shapes I will show you. Hold on. why to kind of like use shapes instead of like drawing like how the, I don't know, how the object is, I guess. All right. Let me draw like one or two more, then I will show you the. I can even warp this more if I want to. Yeah, there we go. I can even warp this even more if I want to, but I am not gonna do that. There we go. Goddamn. Let's do some more. Right now I'm like trying to do some like very simple shapes, nothing too crazy. I want to do a gun. Hold on. I want to do a gun. I have never done a gun. I do not know how to draw a gun. Same shape. What? If you don't mind, explain alarm clock. Can you explain through your thought process while drawing multiple objects sharing the same space? Oh, you mean in perspective? You mean in a room? Yeah. Hold on. Let me draw this gun and I will explain. All right, I will explain both of the things. Hold on. All right, so yeah, this is gonna be difficult. All right, so I have never drawn a gun first and foremost. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna lay down a initial shape like this. All right, we're gonna lay down an initial shape like this. Then we're gonna start shaping the other things. Alright, there we go. We have the initial shape, and now we can start adding more detail. Hold on. We are almost done. I'm almost done. Alright, there we go. We have a very cool gun. Very cool, kind of like 90s or something gun. Alright, very old, kind of like old fashioned, very cool gun. Alright. Got him. Like, it's really cool. Okay, hold on. I wanna do like a little bit more. I wanna do this kind of like a better version. Hold on. Not a better version, a little bit. I will correct it a little bit. All right, give me a minute. Yeah, I have never really drawn a gun, so this is kind of like difficult for me. Yeah, there we go. Now it looks much better. There we go. Now it looks much better. All right. Okay, time to explain it to you. Why like answering both of your questions. Hold on. Why we should kind of like draw shapes, like design everything like using shapes, and secondly, hold on. Your second question, I forgot what that was. Give me a minute. All right, give me a minute. Yeah, this one, 3 and 4. All right, let's do this. I think even 5, or I don't remember. Yeah, this one as well. Okay, for your first question, okay, why should we draw in shapes? Okay, why shape language is like very important. Okay, very important. Okay, yeah, look at this. Do you see this figure over here? Okay, this is all shapes. All right, this is all freaking shapes. All right, so hold on. I'm gonna use a red brush to explain it to you. 1. Okay, this is all freaking shapes. Look at this. Okay, now why do we do this? All right, why do we do this? Why do we do these shapes? Why are these freaking, I don't know, important? The reason for that is like, if you draw in like a normal kind of like way, okay, a normal proportions, normal poses, okay, normal kind of like stuff, it looks boring as fuck. So for example, one of these are like normal. Yeah, look at this guy over here. Okay, his stuff is like very normal. Okay, very normal. This guy and even this guy, okay, there are no kind of like shapes and stuff on both of these guys. All right, no shapes and no stuff on both of these guys. They look boring, very boring. Okay, they look very kind of like unexpressive. Okay, their actions look very unexpressive. Okay, these shapes help our actions, their actions, the characters' actions, to be very expressive, our lines to be very expressive. Okay, that is the main reason that we draw shapes. We draw lines using freaking shapes. Yeah, even over here, look at this. Look at all of these freaking shapes over here. Very kind of like flowy shapes. All right, yeah, so these make our drawings very expressive. Even this one, okay, look at this shape, look at this thigh shape over here. Yeah, this makes our drawings, our I don't know, our lines, the character, very expressive. That is one of the reasons, that is the main reason why we kind of like use shapes. There is like one more, hold on. Yeah, no, not this one. Yeah, even over here, look at this character over here. it all makes her lines very kind of like expressive. All right, yeah, very expressive. Okay, look at the leg shape over here. Very expressive, very powerful, very expressive. There was like one more, I think this one, yeah, even over here, look at this. Very expressive. Yes, it does look cool, very cool. All right, I hope you understood this. Hold on, I have another one. Give me a minute. Let me search for it. In that one, it really kind of like, you can see what I mean by, yeah, this one. Look at this. The shapes kind of like determine the language of the character, like how the character is kind of like shaped. Okay, so over here this is like completely straight, but then on top it's narrow, but on the hips it's very wide. All right, that kind of like determines your shape language, your style, or your style of drawing. Even the leg over here, if you see over here, it's like very simple. So this is a very simple shape. All right, very simple shape. That's it. It's just this. That's it. So this is what is what is meant by like manipulating shapes. Like you need to kind of like simplify the complicated shapes, all right, of the reference. Okay, that is the most important thing in art. All right, that is why you kind of like take a life reference. Okay, take a life, I don't know, you study from life. Okay, take a real life photo of a reference. Okay, be it a background or be it a character, and then you draw that. Okay, you do not take another drawing of like another artist and just draw that, because that is simple. Okay, you are not problem solving anything. But when you take a real life reference, okay, be it a character or be it a background, then you have to problem solve the shapes. Okay, you have to kind of like do some shape, kind of like modify and twist and squeeze and squish the shapes. All right, so yeah, I hope you understand. All right, that's this is it. And what was your second question? God, my pose is kind of like have been very bad. I need to focus. Okay, your second question was how to draw in perspective, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, second question, how to draw in perspective. Give me a minute. I'm gonna show it over here, right? I'm gonna show it on these illustrations over here. We will take this simple kind of like illustration. Let's take this one. This is like very simple, nothing crazy. I'm gonna draw the same thing over here, but in perspective. All right, I'm I'm gonna draw the same so that you can understand what is like going on inside my head. All right, so yeah, it's gonna be very fast drawing, so pay attention. I'm gonna explain what goes on in my head while I'm like drawing. Okay. Let me just lower my fan. Give me a minute. Do artists like Peter Han also use the same thing in their drawings, the shape language? Yes, every pro artist uses shape language. They have their own shape language. Every artist has their own shape language. It comes from like within you. All right. It is like a style, and that the shapes and everything that you do in like art, like you put your strokes and stuff. Okay, everything that you do, it kind of like determines your style of drawing. All right, it kind of like determines your style. Eradicator 36, goddamn, thank you for the follow, bro. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Okay, the shapes determine your style. All right, that is most important. My shapes are like very, I don't know, I don't have a lot of shapes. My shapes are very grounded, but that kind of like determines my style. So everyone has their own shapes, everyone has their own style, I guess. So yeah, anyways, yeah, so over here my first job is to set up the horizon line. All right, sorry, the perspective. First and foremost, the perspective, not the horizon line. Okay, so first and foremost, so this is in like 3-point perspective. All right, 3-point perspective. So what I'm like doing is that I'm gonna setting my perspective like this. The third point is like most important over here. All right, so yeah, this is the third point. All right, then I'm gonna set up the horizon line like that. All right, once the horizon line is set, then I can lay down another perspective point over here. That is the first point. That is like 1-point perspective. All right, so yeah, this is 3-point perspective. The first point is over here, the third point is over, I don't know, over here somewhere on top. Okay, and the second point, the two other point, the second point is like over here, which is like out of the scene. All right, it kind of like forms that freaking scene over here like that. Forget about the second point. The only point that matters is like the third point. All right, third point and the point that is on the scene over here. All right, this may be a bit too complicated for you, but I will simplify it. Give me a minute, I will simplify it. Okay, now I do not kind of like draw these points every single time. Okay, because nowadays I'm like used to kind of like drawing in perspective. So let's say if I want to draw a cube in like 3 points, I will just, I don't know, do this. All right, and then kind of like put another cube over here like that, in the same kind of like scene. All right, that is my thought process. Then there is like another cube over here. Yeah, there we go. All right. It may be kind of like wrong. Yeah, some shit is like gonna be freaking wrong, which is fine. It doesn't really matter that much. So yeah, so the points would be something like this. Okay, yeah, this is wrong, this cube is wrong, but yeah, you get my point, what I'm like saying. Yeah, that's kind of like my thinking, my way of kind of like thinking. And then when you are kind of like drawing it, hold on, let me show you this first. When your eye kind of like, if you want to draw something like over here, okay, all right, close to the camera, then it will be something like this. Because your eye is like the third point is like somewhere over here, okay, the third point is like this, somewhere over here. All right, the closer you get to the main point, it's gonna kind of like move it like that. So that is the reason why I kind of like told you to practice the freaking sphere, okay, the freaking perspective sphere. All right. that was the main reason why to practice that. All right, so yeah. So that is like, this is like something like this. I'm gonna put this over here just for reference. All right, so yeah, now that we have the scene over here, now what we can do is like, we're gonna start placing our objects. All right, so this is in third point. All right, so we will put down a bed over here. It all starts with the cubes. All right, you gotta learn how to freaking draw the freaking cubes if you wanna kind of like put down objects in the scene. It all starts with these are all freaking cubes. Even the characters are freaking cubes, right? Then there goes the doorway. All right, then there is the door. Just simple lines, okay? I'm not even kind of like drawing them in three dimensions. Just simple kind of like shapes. All right, very simple shapes, nothing too crazy. Then there goes the ceiling over here. This is gonna be kind of like, the more it is like towards the camera, it's gonna become bigger, and the more that is like to like away from the camera, it's gonna be shorter. All right, so yeah. So this room is essentially a cube. All right, this room is essentially a cube. So this is a big kind of like cube. We are inside a cube. All right, look at this. We are inside a cube. Yeah, there we go. This room is basically a cube. All right, and then you can start putting other objects over here. It all starts with the freaking cubes. You gotta learn how to draw the freaking boxes in perspective. Goddamn. Then the characters I won't kind of like show you right now. Give me a minute. Then there goes the fan as well. Then there goes some stuff over here. And then the characters are like pretty simple. This one is like pretty simple, right? This one on the other hand is a bit complicated. You need to kind of like understand how to draw kind of like characters for this one. But it's all about freaking perspective again. Yeah, there we go. What's up, Cloudy Dragons? Welcome, bro. It will be more distorted, yes. Hi and bye. Long time no see. I have to change. I have to charge. I'm on 10%. Alright, bro. No problem. Yes, I understand most of the things, and I do know how to draw cubes, but when there is to draw a cluster of boxes in the same perspective, I struggle with it a lot. Yes, then you need to understand perspective. Then you need to understand how to draw perspective. Give me a minute. I will explain how to draw freaking perspective. And when I was like trying figure drawing with 3D forms, I was struggling with the proportion of the box a lot. The proportions of the box doesn't matter that much, in which I have to fit the head, ribcage, and pelvis. Alright. Goddamn. Also, we reached 60 followers on Twitch. Give me a minute. I will explain it to you. Okay. So since you do not know how to kind of like draw stuff in perspective, there are two possibilities of that. Either you never practiced this exercise, all right, or either you do not know how this works, how perspective works. Either you do not understand how perspective works. All right, these are the two kind of like reasons for what you are kind of like saying. So yeah, this is 1 point perspective. You gotta practice this. Then there comes 2 point and then 3 point as well. This will help you understand how perspective kind of like works. I will explain how to draw this, how to kind of like how this works. Give me a minute. I know the theory though, I know the tricks too. I think it's mostly lack of practice. No, your brain needs to fucking understand how this freaking works. That is what you're lacking. Give me a minute, let me draw. Okay, this is the third point, alright? in 3-point, the third point is like the most important. The first 2 points are like over here somewhere. It doesn't matter. The first 2 points can change. One can be over here, the other can be over here, depends. All right, doesn't matter. Third point, in 3-point perspective, third point is most important. Alright, same goes for the upside down version of the third point as well. Look at this. Alright, same principle, just upside down. Okay, now how this works is, there are 2 important things in this, the point over here and the horizon line over here. All right, the horizon line is your eye level. Okay, anything above the horizon line, you are looking at that object from below. So hold on. Yeah, anything above the horizon line, my eye level is over here, right? My eye level is over here. Anything above horizon line, you are looking at that object from below. All right, you're looking at the downside of the object. All right, anything below the horizon line, you're looking at the top side of the object. Remember that. All right, all right, with that in mind, okay, the horizon line is very important. Okay, and this is the point where everything is going to merge. Okay, so when you are drawing an object in like 1-point perspective, everything is going to merge at this very point. All right, so that is why these converging lines, they kind of like go into the point. Right, so if I want to draw a cube over here, what I'm gonna do is like, I'm gonna draw a square, simple square. All right, simple square. Then I'm gonna merge the lines. Okay, all of these lines. Okay, you don't need to draw the line kind of like, I don't know, behind the object, but I'm just drawing it for like understanding. And then draw another square like this behind it. Okay, so if you kind of like rub everything nicely, make it like nice and simple, it will look something like this. We got a square. Same goes, now this is like, you're looking at the object from like top, so this is the top part, is like you're looking at the top part. Okay, so this is below the horizon line. All right, now if you want to draw something over here, same principle. You don't even need to draw this line over here. You can just, I don't know, draw this square. That's it. Same principle. You are looking at the bottom side of the object, so it is above your eye level or the horizon line. All right, now in the second, in the 2-point perspective, did you understand the first thing? Did you understand the 1 point, how to draw it? Did you understand the first one thing, the first, or the 1 point? Yes, do not complicate it. Do not complicate as the top plane and the bottom plane. Do not complicate stuff. Just remember the horizon line and the point. That's it. We call it as the vanishing point because everything vanishes into that point. Okay, just remember it as a point and the horizon line. Horizon, just for the horizon, not even the line. Okay, anything on above the horizon line, you're looking at the object from underneath the object. Okay, you're looking at the bottom side of the object. Anything below the horizon line, you're looking at the top of the object. That's it. Simple. Same principle over here. We are just playing with 2 points. All right, we are just playing with 2 points. All right, let's say if you want to draw an object over here, this is above the horizon line, so we're gonna see the bottom side of the object. All right, so what you do is you create a line like this. Okay, you create another line like this, you create another line like this, or however long you want. Okay, this is complicated, hold on. You create a line like this, then you merge that line into this vanishing point. Same goes over here. Okay, then same goes over here, same goes over here as well, and then you join these 2 lines. Okay, this is kind of complicated, but yeah, you get my point. All right, so yeah, you get an object like this. You get an object like this. All right, if I want to draw an object over here, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna draw a line. I'm gonna push this point towards that, I don't know, point. Push this line towards that point. Draw a line over here. Push this towards the other point. Draw a line over there. Right. Same goes over here. Push this line towards this point. Push this line towards this point. That's it. We have an object. Simple. All right. Simple. It is just using the second point. Okay, if I kind of like extend this point over here, then it becomes kind of like a 1 point over here. All right, then it becomes a 1 point over here. See that? See that? All right. If I kind of like warp it a little bit, then it kind of like becomes like goes towards the other kind of like point over there. All right, so I hope I did not complicate stuff. This is the simplest explanation for the 2-point perspective. Okay, yes, in third point the vertical lines converge as well. Yes, third point is the same as the second point and the first point. Okay, but in the third point the vertical lines converge as well. So yeah, there is convergence in these 2 lines, so we get a kind of like quadrilateral over here, and same over here as well. Okay, but then there is also convergence over here. All right, so yeah, this may be complicated, but it's like super simple once you understand it. All right, it is super simple once you understand it. Let's say I wanna draw a cube over here. So what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna converge this stuff and then I'm gonna converge the third point over here like this. All right, and then same goes the convergence on the top as well. So what I get is like that's it. I get a kind of like cube over there. All right, so yeah. Now you understand how this freaking works, huh? How this freaking works. Now do you understand it? Okay, but there is another point to this. All right, there is another kind of like trick to the third point. All right, let me show you what happens. I have never kind of like tried it. I think I have tried it over here, but yeah, never kind of like try to kind of like explain it or something. Yeah, and the vertical lines always have to be perpendicular to the horizon line. Will this rule change if I rotate a cube? Yes. Yes, if you rotate a cube, that rule will kind of like change, because they kind of like do not remain perpendicular for that rotated cube. Okay, yeah. What I'm asking is, just a rotated cube follow the same perspective, or will it have different perspective? Yes, it kind of like has a different perspective, but you also have to follow the guidelines of the overall kind of like perspective of the scene. Okay, so yeah, I will explain this. Hold on. 4-point curvilinear? No, this is not 4-point curvilinear. Nuh-uh. What I've like drawn over here is, this is the third point over here. It's a third point, 3-point perspective, but also this is the second point. This is a 2-point perspective over here. All right, so what you can do is like, so it kind of like comes, the scene kind of like comes like this. This is very difficult to do. Okay, even I'm like kind of like getting confused right now, but we're gonna try. Okay, like this is one thing that I wanted to kind of like show you people. Alright, this is the third point, but then if I want to place an object over here, so yeah, it has to kind of like merge into that third kind of like point. I'm sorry, I kind of like fricked up. Yeah, so it's 3-point curvilinear. Sorry, 4-point curvilinear, not 3-point. Yeah, it has to merge in that object. So if I were to draw this over here, this cube over here, then it is going to be like this. Yeah, there we go. This is how you draw a scene like this. Okay, everything is in perspective. Remember that everything is in perspective. Remember, so if I wanna draw something, let's say something over here, like a cube or like a kind of like a box over here. Yeah, I will draw it like something like that. I don't know. Okay, now to answer your question about if an object will stay in perspective if you kind of like twist it around. Okay, we're gonna take the same kind of like I'm gonna show it on over here. This is gonna be our object. All right, that is gonna be our object. Okay, that is gonna be our object. Now what is going to happen is this object is not gonna look like that. This is not gonna look like that. It will have its own perspective, but it will be forced to follow the perspective of the scene. All right, it is difficult to do. It is difficult to do. I understand that. Goddamn, why is this so freaking difficult? Jesus Christ. Yeah, there we go. Goddamn. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna get warped because of the scene. Okay, because the perspective of the scene. All right, it is not gonna remain the same way, even if like that object is kind of like rotated. Okay, so yeah. Yes, it takes a lot of brain juice to process. So that is so this is where you use references. All right, this is where you use references. Okay, this is where you use references. So in a reference it will be something like this, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it will be something like this in the reference, because this part is like gonna look up and we will see more of the underside and the side of the object. Okay, because it is in like near to the top, so it's we are seeing like more of the underside of the object and the side of the object. So yeah, it is gonna get warped because of the perspective of the entire kind of like thing. Yeah, I hope you understand. Goddamn, this was a lot. I hope you understand how to draw in perspective. Goddamn, I kind of like wasted my entire freaking day. Okay, I'm gonna start drawing this. Goddamn, man. we're doing some props and textures. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna just draw straight on top of this. I'm not even gonna, you know, do the underside now. Yes, because the horizon line is below. Yes, it's not just your horizon line is below. Yes, no, it's like going to the top of the kind of like the third point. The more you go towards the top, towards a certain point, the opposite side, you're gonna see the opposite side more and more. So yeah, that is the basic physics of 3D. Okay, so what I would suggest is use a mannequin. Okay, use kind of like set pose, or like pose it on Android. Use an app like set pose on the browser. Hold on. Okay, go to the set pose website on the browser, or use the Pose It app on Android, iOS. Okay, they have like mannequins over there where you can pose and stuff. I think on Pose It they also have cubes and stuff, so you can just move the cube around. I think they have like cubes on both of the stuff, if I'm not wrong. I don't remember about set pose because I haven't used like set pose. Okay, yeah, they have some stuff over there like mannequins and stuff. But if you can't use that, then I would recommend like just using Blender. If you can use Blender, that is. So yeah, Blender is very sad. Hold on. Now I kind of like lost all of the freaking textures and stuff. God damn, man. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we are gonna do the textures now. Like really fast. Okay, really freaking fast. I'm gonna go like freaking crazy on this one because I have already spent a lot of freaking time. So there they have like cubes and stuff. You can just, you know, place the cube in a certain kind of like angle or perspective, or like whatever place, like move the cube around, or like move the camera around, and like see how the cube kind of like warps and stuff. So yeah, you can do that. So go and like do that, I guess. There we go. I'm gonna put down every kind of like color on like every object first before I kind of like start coloring this shit. But, all right, there we go. Let me do the flats first, and then I will kind of like talk a bit on my process of like drawing textures and stuff. The clock is like pretty simple. There is no texture on that, and like no color on that as well. Wanna go freaking crazy over here? Give me a minute. Okay, where is the freaking gun? Goddamn. This is gonna be the hardest one. The gun is gonna be the freaking hardest one of them all. Goddamn this freaking mosquito, Jesus. I have so many freaking mosquitoes in my house. It's crazy. But still kind of they have kind of like reduced because I kind of like covered all of the spots, all of the crevices of where they come from, to be honest. Hold on, I'll look at the chat. Give me a minute over here. Alright, there we go. Right now I should just practice figures, right? Like the ones I sent yesterday. Yes. First, yeah, you should definitely follow my video, which I kind of like posted, the 4 kind of like tricks or something. I don't remember the name. Okay. Arctic Wolf was best of luck with your illustration. Yes, thank you so much, Arctic Wolf artist. Goddamn, man. Thank you so much. Goddamn, the music kind of like stopped. Why did you guys not tell me? Yes, I'm offering everyone free mentorship. Goddamn, I'm offering free mentorship. So if anyone has any questions, God damn it, man. Nobody, you know, I opened up a mentorship program. Nobody freaking came, so I'm like, whatever, man. Fuck this shit. My ideas, my success never kind of like, I never get success in like anything in life, to be honest. I never got it. I never have got it. There are a lot of shit that I did in my life. I never got success in like anything. Absolutely nothing. It is only now that some of the art stuff like I'm getting recognized for, you know. Like other people get, you know, they're like I have seen so many other people who are kind of like, you know, like people recognize them instantly. Okay, they say good things about those people instantly, but not me. Okay, not me. Never. It is never me. I have never been recognized as like anything. I have been the worthless kind of like guy. No, you. I've been the most disgusting guy ever. You know? Yeah, and it kind of like hurts. And it hurts. After a certain point, it hurts a lot. I am freaking so angry right now. I get every freaking day I wake up, I am freaking fuming. in the morning. Every single person that I've like seen, they get success, they get the girls and stuff, they get everything. Not me. I try to kind of like talk nicely with people, but no, people just, I don't know, mistake it for like being I don't know, sticky and like being sus and stuff. You try to be a nice person in this world, it never freaking works for you. It never works for you. No. What message did you retract? Huh? I normally just draw animals, so yeah. From what I was told as a kid, if you want something, then you won't get it. Don't want something, it will. Yeah, that is very true. When we are competing with like over 8 billion people for attention, that is very true, man. But yeah, but every single person that I've like seen, every freaking single person that I've like seen, or like I have known, they get success instantly. They got success instantly. Yeah, that is the truth, unfortunately. Okay, it is time. Goddamn, I need to fix this lamp over here, this container over here. In my school, in my I don't know, in my college, in my tuition, or whatever, in like normal folk, in my real life, everyone that I've like seen, they got instant. Every friend of mine got freaking instant success. They got the girls, they got the freaking success. Yeah, not me though. Nuh-uh. It never is that simple. It never has been that simple for me. There is always freaking pain and suffering, and I don't know. I'm just at this point, I'm like freaking frustrated, to be honest. And why am I even kind of like wasting my time on this? I need to kind of like do the textures. All right, time to freaking do the textures now. Alright, let's do this shit. God damn this mosquito, god damn it, man. Where are my texture brushes? I'm using Ramon's brushes, by the way. Ramon Nunes. Arctic Wolf followed you. Goddamn, man, thank you so much. Alright, there we go. Goddamn. This is looking good. I love Ramon's work, by the way. It's crazy. I haven't seen kind of like his work a lot. It's kind of like somewhat weird, I think, Ramon's work. Like the characters are a little bit weird, but I love his work, to be honest. I'm just using like one brush for the textures, nothing too crazy, to be honest. There we go. Looking super good. Looking super good. Alright, there we go. Mostly using the lasso tool for the textures because, well, it's very simple to kind of like use the lasso tool, and it's like very effective, to be honest. Yep, there we go. There is a shadow over here, so we're gonna draw that. Gotta paint this. Hold on. Yeah, there you go. I think too much lasso tool in my opinion, but it's fine. I don't know, man, it's fine. I might rake some stuff. God damn. Raking is always good. There we go. We have our first object. Let's move on to the next one, which is this freaking bucket. Jesus fucking Christ. Hello Frostine, what's up? Paper cutouts. Yes, it looks like paper cutouts. We are only seeing 0.01% of people. We only see others people results, not the process. I'll give you a follow on color. Thank you so much. No, it's not about other people's results, not the process. It's just like, you know, I have seen so many freaking people, you know, in my real life who are, I don't know, man, who are just accepted because they exist, alright, because they are like that. You don't understand what I'm like saying, alright? You know, you don't understand how it feels. You probably don't understand how it feels, how I feel. When you're not accepted because you exist, it hurts. Okay, let's Okay, this is gonna be a little bit difficult, to be honest. So I'm gonna take it like easy. But I'm glad my family is good. Like, not all people, but yeah, they are kind of like good. My mom is good, so yeah. That's why I'm like able to do this. My dad was a freaking shitty person. I won't talk much about the people in my house, but yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm kind of like a bit focused right now because this object is kind of like difficult a little bit. Okay, I think I have the base object, but it's like gonna be freaking tricky for the textures because there is a lot of wood stuff. All right, there is a lot of wood stuff, so we have to kind of like draw the creases and stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be freaking tricky. Right, I think I have the basic object right now. Okay, let's try to draw it. There we go. We are doing it. We are doing it. God damn. Okay, why is this freaking hard? All right, why is this freaking hard? It is because it is like you are adding textures, but also you need to think about the colors as well. So that is what actually makes it like super freaking difficult. Because normally when you see kind of like texture stuff, okay, mostly it's like in real life, the texture stuff, it has kind of like very realistic colors and stuff. It does not have like stylized colors and stuff. The stylized stuff you see only in like artist work, all right? Otherwise you just, I don't know, don't see that. Yeah, this one is like pretty difficult, if I do say so myself. Pretty kind of like complicated and like difficult. There are too many textures over here. All right, I think this one is like done. The only thing remaining is like the wooden textures. Yeah, this one has like a lot of freaking textures. I'm not gonna do like all of them. Like a really freaking lot of textures. Goddamn. Woo! Crazy. Goddamn. I'm just looking for some brushes. All right, I think this is this is the best I can do with this. Yeah. That's the best I can do with that.